What's good, everybody? Let's talk playoffs. I know it's a long shot, but technically we still have a chance. So I want to break down what we need to do and what we need to happen in order for us to get a chance or to have a chance. So if you could, before I get into it, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. I would definitely appreciate it. So today what I want to do is kind of break down real briefly the current standings of the AFC West as it stands going into week 13. We have a bye, and I want to take a look at the remainder of our schedule, and I want to look at the entire AFC picture and what we need to happen going forward in order to have a chance at making the playoffs. And I'm going to end it with just some games this weekend, week 13, that we want to pay attention to. So if you guys are a football junkie like I am, and I'm going to be glued to the TV even though we don't have a game, I want to know who I want to watch out for that could have the biggest impact on us possibly making the playoffs. So first, I'm going to break down what we need to do, right? It's a it's go big or go home mentality. You got to lay it all on the line, no holds barred. You got to make sure you win out the entire season. We have to win every single game moving forward, period, point blank. I mean, we have to do what we need to do first. Everything else will play itself out, but nothing else matters unless we don't win. So from here on out, we got to win. So let me know in the comments below. Let me know, scale 1 to 10, do you think we can win out? Do you think we can win the remainder of the games? And I'm about to break out what the rest of our schedule looks like, but let me know, scale 1 to 10. 10 means we're going to win out. We're going to go 5-0 the remainder of the season, or 1 means we're not going to win a single game going forward. And if you don't think we're going to win out, if you don't comment a 10 down below, let me know how many games you think we're going to win. We're going to win 2 of the next 5, 3 of the next 5. Let me know in the comments below. So let's first take a look at the AFC West standings. I'm going to pop it up here on the screen real quick. So this is kind of how the standings look, right? KC, they're on top. They look like they're going to kind of run the board for the AFC West, probably get first or second place in the entire AFC. They got Green Bay this weekend. Then they got the Bills following up. So I can see them kind of being 11-6, 12-5 type of team going into ending the regular season, going into the playoffs. And then you got the Broncos. Man, the Broncos have just crept up over the last month or so. So they've won the last 5 straight. They got Houston this weekend, but they still play us. They got the Chargers twice, and they play the Lions. So they don't have an easy trip going forward. So they're definitely going to have a tough schedule in the remaining games. And then you got us. We got to win out. I just went over it. And then you get the Chargers. The Chargers are sitting down at the bottom. They're coming off of 3 straight losses. Their last loss was to Baltimore, and they got the Patriots this weekend, and then they got Denver twice. They still got to play Buffalo. They still have to they still have to play KC. So the Chargers, they don't have an easy ride either, and so this sets up for us to possibly kind of jump into that second place if everything goes well and we do our job. So I got a question for you guys again. Let me know, do you think we can jump into second place? Let me know if your confidence level, is there a chance of us jumping into second place? And now I'm going to break down kind of the rest of our schedule real quick, and I'm going to bring that up as well. So let's look at the remaining schedule. We just came off a loss against KC, which was a brutal loss because that was the first time that I thought we could have beat KC because they are a beatable team. But we lost. We go into a bye. We got Minnesota at home, which we can beat Minnesota. Then we got the Chargers at home as well. Again, a winnable game. Then we go into KC, which is always tough to just play KC, but it's going to be tough to go into Arrowhead and play. Then we got Indy, and Indy is kind of a wild card, and I'll get into that in a second why they are. But we can beat Indy, and I think we can compete against Denver. So the rest of our games for the rest of the season, I think we have a good chance if we play to the top of our ability. I think we have a chance at winning the remainder of the games. But look, it's a optimistic mindset. And any time that our Raiders go in, I am hoping for the best. And so it's not the worst schedule in the world. Some of the hardest teams that we've played are kind of behind us. Miami's behind us. The Bills are behind us. So we just need to win out. We got to focus on these fives, do our job, and win out. And so next, let's go ahead and take a look at the full playoff picture and kind of break this down a little bit. So I'm going to bring this up as well. So here's the full playoff picture, right? Obviously, we got Ravens on top. We got KC, Jacksonville, Miami. They're kind of running the ship. They're going to make their way in, not a problem. But we're fighting for basically a wild card spot. And so if you look at it, right, you got Cincy right above us, basically they're sitting right above us. And between Cincy, the Browns, and Pittsburgh, they all still play each other. So that's going to be interesting how it plays out as weeks go on. Now, if you look at the Bills that are right above Cincy, the Bills have one of the hardest schedules moving forward. They just came off a loss to Philly, that loss to Philly helps us out a lot. They still have KC, they got the Cowboys, Chargers, New England, and Miami. Now, I understand New England is not anything of what they used to be, but they still play the Bills tough every single time. So with KC, Cowboys, Chargers, New England, and Miami, that's going to be a tough road. Now, then you got Indy. Now, Indy is the wild card. And the reason why I say this is because Indy still plays Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Houston. And all three of those, we need them basically to play each other in the way that those matchups kind of play out. I'm hoping that they can knock some of each other down a little bit, but we play Indy. We play Indy on December 31st, and that's going to be a huge game. If we continue to win, and if some of these teams, if Indy can beat up on some of these teams like Cincy, like Houston, if they can knock those guys down a little bit and then we can come in from behind and beat Indy, and we've already kind of won the rest of the games moving up to that game, that could be a huge one. So Indy's kind of a wild card in my opinion. And so and you look at Cleveland, right? Cleveland on top there, they're on their second string quarterback. I think they just signed on Joe Flacco. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland. They have a great defense, but their offense is struggling bad because of Deshaun Watson being out. They're going to have a struggle with the remaining games in the season, and so I can see them getting knocked down a little bit, which obviously helps us. But then Pittsburgh's on a roll, so Pittsburgh's going to be a tough one to kind of knock off, and we'll kind of see how that plays out with Matt Canada no longer being there. It's going to be interesting to see how Pittsburgh continues to get the ball rolling on the offensive side of things over there. So that kind of lays out the picture a little bit. I wanted to keep it brief, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me. And then after laying that out, there's some games this weekend. And again, like I said in the beginning, I'm a football junkie. So as much as I hate that the Raiders aren't playing, I'm still going to be glued to the TV because I'm going to watch some football. But if I'm going to watch football, I want it to be meaningful. So I got to know, okay, are there games that I want to focus on that could benefit the Raiders? Depending on what the outcome is, can it benefit us to kind of raise those percentages of us getting to the playoffs? I'm going to break a couple of those games down. So the first one, we got the Colts at the Titans, and we need the Titans to beat the Colts. I just showed you the rankings. If the Titans can beat the Colts, let's hope that knocks them down a little bit. The second game is, and this is a big one, the Broncos at the Titans. So the Broncos play the Titans. In my opinion, even though they're both ranked above us, we need Broncos at the Texans. We need the Texans to beat up on the Broncos. We need the Texans to beat the Broncos just that it could help us in our own divisional rankings. So that's a huge one. And then Monday night, you got the Bengals at the Jags. We need the Jags to beat the Bengals. They're right above us in the rankings. Again, the Bengals are hurt. They're struggling. Joe Burrow's out. We need the Jags to come up and beat the Bengals to help us out, move up in those rankings. So, out of those three games, if you guys are watching, which games, comment down below which game you're going to be focused on, what you think has the biggest impact on us moving up in the rankings. And look, it's a bye week. I got a family, I got a wife, I got kids. There's a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing. I'm basically going to be recording the games. If you're not watching games, I don't hate on it. If you're, what else do you do during the bye weeks? If there's something that you do during the bye weeks, whether it's you go off and do your own thing or you got a family, let me know in the comments below. Share with the Raider Nation. What do we do as a fan base during those bye weeks? Let me know in the comments below. But look, I appreciate you guys. This was kind of a quick one, but I wanted to kind of break down what the scenario looked like, because I understand it's a long shot to make the playoffs. But when there is a shot, if we're still in the hunt, we got to pay attention. We got to know what we need to do and what things need to happen in order for us to have a shot. So appreciate you guys. Look out for extra videos. I'm going to be breaking down a lot of head coaching rumors here in the next day or so. And then once those week 13 games are completed and done, I'm going to take a look at the rankings and I'm going to do another full breakdown on what needs to happen moving forward in order for us to have a better shot at the playoffs. So I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the bye weekend, basically. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.